Hi, David Odell with Odell Complete Concrete. Right here we have a walkway going along the front of the house here, along the side as well. That chain link fence came out. We put a block wall in. I'll attach a link to that in the description so you can see the block wall build also. Walkway along the back of the house here. Also a little bit bigger section out that doggy door. Now here's some of the formwork and grading activity before the pour. Right now we've got a string line about 14 inches out from the wall, and that's gonna get some decorative gravel in there. Also, it's gonna act as a good place for drainage, water to drain off the concrete and to the front into the street. Also, the nice thing about that, if you wanted to run utilities through that planter space, you could. So it's a 4-foot wide walkway. We're just going to attach it to the decorative concrete that we did in a previous video. I'll attach that link as well in the description. Along the back of the house, we just pull a line 3 feet out from the house, dig it down 4 inches below the line, and that allows us to get that 2x4 in there. Around that access that goes under the house, we're just going to come out, maintain 3 feet out and around it. Here's that larger area for the dog enclosure outside the doggy door. Just an area for the dogs to get outside and still be enclosed so that they're protected from coyotes or stray dogs or whatever tries to attack them. So we've just about got this all formed up. Now it's just a matter of fine-tuning, compacting. Also, I'm going to put along that block at the bottom of the house, I'm going to put some expansion foam along there. I'm going to attach it with some 3M spray-on adhesive. So I dumped a little road base in there as well. There's a couple sleeves I threw underneath the sidewalk just in case he wanted to add sprinklers or electric down the road. Out to the front yard, he has that. Con Rock out of Golden Valley, about a 45-minute drive to get here. Also, we've got Julio, the pumper, Prime Concrete Pumping. He's going to be doing the placing the concrete for us. We're getting it close to the right place. We've got 2 rebars. And they're 1/2 inch. We're just going to pull those up on the way out. You can see that foam that's attached to the wall now. The nice thing about foam there is that as the concrete dries out, that block doesn't draw the moisture out of the concrete. So the concrete dries evenly all the way across. Donald's on the screed. We're going to do an edge along that foam as well, along the 2x4 as well as the foam. This concrete's a 3000 PSI. It has fiber mesh in it. I did a 1/2 pound per yard. A lot of times I'll do 1 pound, but if it's a broom finish, I'd like to go 1/2 pound. That way I don't get the fiber balling up on the broom. Now here I am, I'm taking over on the screed. Donald fell back to touch up some edges and what have you. Here's where that sidewalk ties into the terracotta color stamp. Also, I have 2 dowels, rebar dowels sticking out of that red concrete. That way it'll tie these two together and you won't get one dropping or heaving above the other, and it'll stay nice and tight, flush. Here's Kyle. Right now we're laying out the joint pattern. We've jointed off all the corners. So now we just have to divide up all the space in between those. That's a 3-foot long cutter, which helps keep the line straight. Then we follow that up with a typical walking joiner. So that planer comes in handy for walking through also to work the concrete. This particular joiner is 3/4 deep, 1/2 inch radius. Right here it's kind of tough to use a walking joiner in these tight areas. Here's our first pass over the concrete by hand. Right now I'm just going down the walkway off of sliders. So as I went down this, closed up some of the joints. So this is how I reestablished the joint. I just lay my trowel on its side, cut back through it. And that's a 20x4 trowel, so it's pretty good straight edge. Kind of a weird angle on that joint right there, but that's typically the way the concrete's going to want to crack. Usually likes to crack at about a 45-degree angle off of those inside corners. That whole backyard's going to get graded and decorative rock's going to go in. We're going to show all that as well in the next video. This is what concrete sounds like when it's about ready to broom it. Here's your green nylon broom. That's probably a medium texture. The white broom would be your softest or finest texture, and then the black would be really coarse. As I looked through this job, I noticed that there was a couple flaws here and there, so I touched it up with my margin trowel and re-broomed it. We hit it with curing compound as well. Had the owner keep it wet for a couple weeks. And this is 2 weeks later, and it's cured out beautiful. Anyway, that about wraps up this job site. We do have the gravel install going in, and the grading process in the next video. Also, that block wall you see around the perimeter, we have that attached in the description if you want to check that out. Anyway, have a good one. Make sure you share, like, subscribe. Talk to you later.